So first things first, when I left off, right, let's who in here knows about Let's Hit Crimson when I tell you I was howling when I saw that, okay? I was howling. That's why I got you toxic, give me a little bit. That's why I never released my book title. That's why. Who in here has technical education? I need somebody. Because y'all, my iPad was not even a year old, okay? I bought it. It was not even a year old, all right? Remember the last time I saw y'all, right? I had to go, I had an appointment. The crack on my iPad, y'all, was legitimately the corner, okay? Screen wasn't affected. I didn't have to, there was nothing wrong with it. The crack, it was purely cosmetic, okay? I had to buy a new iPad. It wouldn't charge, yes. So, I don't need to tell y'all that I left that man a fucking review. So, let me back up. I'll get it more clear for y'all to understand, all right? I had an iPad. I bought it last, I want to say July, maybe August, right? There was a small crack in the corner. Nothing was affected. Nothing was affected. I did wait, okay? I dropped it off to get it fixed, right? I pick it up when I was packing for the girls' trip, right? I was charging it, making sure it was ready. I go to charge it, it won't fucking charge. I'm like, what the fuck? So I call the guy and I tell him, hey, you know, I don't know what's going on. It's not charging, okay? I tell him I'm going away for the, wait. I tell him I'm going away for the weekend. I'll come in on Monday, right? I go there. He goes behind the counter and plugs it in and says, oh, it works. I didn't see him do that, right? So I get home. I'm trying to plug it in. It doesn't work. I deal with Apple. Apple tells me they need to make me an appointment for the Apple store. No problem, whatever. Bring it in. I needed a new iPad. Well, let me back up. I could have sent it in, right? I could have sent it in, but I would have paid them $400. Why wouldn't I just buy a new iPad? So I have a new iPad. And now, wait, it's so bad. Hold on. But now I have this one, right? Nothing wrong with it except it won't charge. I don't need to tell you how upset I was, do I? Because, like, you should have just done it right. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just the screen. That's it. There was nothing else wrong with it, y'all. So now, but if anybody knows, this one actually feels a lot heavier. This one feels, no thank you. Sorry, y'all, bear with me. I tried that. A third party fixed it. That's where I got fucked. A third party fixed it. So, but if somebody knows, like, you know how somebody, I tried, Ghostface. You know how somebody, like, if somebody knows and can look at it, right? No, I didn't. Yeah, if somebody knows, I'll give it away. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's how we... Did you? It was the same thing? It's 9th gen. The broken one is the 9th gen. Thank you, y'all. I'm sorry. I get distracted, and if I lose focus, I'll go on a whole tangent. I tried rebooting it. I tried. Oh, it happened to yours too? I should. But, yeah, no, I'll give it away. But yeah, so that's been fun, right? It's just, and so Naps, are you here? Nap said they probably forgot to like just, she said they probably just forgot to plug the screen back in when like they opens it up. I don't care. But if somebody is technical and knows what they're doing, hi Luann, I will get it to them. Yeah, reboot. What up, Nikki? How are you? Yeah, it's a pain. I bought a new one. because I had a problem with the MacBook too, y'all. I bought a brand new MacBook, and all of a sudden it just stopped working while I was writing the W thing, actually. Hi, Panda. Hi, Penny Paws. Yeah. So I had to, but this was covered because it was brand new. I just went in and exchanged it. So now at least it matches. This is my MacBook is blue. I feel her crawling up. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I brought a sweater out and never even put it on. Oh, happy birthday! Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll have to make it somehow fair, but I will take care of it. Also, I saw somebody planning. I'm stuck. I'm sorry. Hold on. I saw somebody planning a naked butterfly live. If there is somebody that wants to, be in that live and you don't have enough followers to go live, can you contact me? Because I will clear an account out for you and give you an account so that you could go live. Hi, Struggles. I have probably 5 or 6 accounts with live capability. So I actually told the girl to get to you because you could get through to my phone. Also, I'm going to see Morgan Wallen on Friday night, and I am so fucking excited. I am so excited. So yeah, crazy. I know, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's a little bit further. I'm a little bit worried about the cats because they'll be alone. Now you're jealous. Listen, don't be jealous. I think that if anybody, here she comes, I'm gonna kill her if she crawls up. What are you doing, ma'am? She's trying to. Do I like country? No, but I like him. Oh, does he? I'm excited. Ooh, candle box. Hi, Christy. How are you? Your video just came up on my FYP. Right, I know, but I still feel bad. Here she is. Come here. Come here. She's trying to climb up the chair. Say hi. You want to say hi? No, I just want to be crazy. That's all she wants to do is be crazy. But couple of things. I'm good. I'm glad you're all right. I know. She's gotten so big, y'all. She has gotten so big. It's crazy. Couple of things. Number one, I appreciate y'all that have gone and given Ashley some support. Okay, thank you, Candy. Then I appreciate y'all. I know that it's never a fun time when I'm telling you, Panini, it's never a fun time when you figure out that somebody that should be one of us, and we find out that they're not, right? So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the gifts. So I've been seeing y'all in comments, and yes, Tashley, that's what her at is. I just call it Ashley. Hi, Stewie. Because, yeah, I agree. It's wild to me that he just posted a video about, hi, Melissa Sue, the Gulf Coast Stapletons. It's a little weird. I'm surprised he hasn't blocked me yet because I've been in his comments telling him, don't you think that you shouldn't be talking about, you know? I had no idea, y'all. I know because I appreciate y'all. When I went back, and looked into, I went back and watched his live with like the proof, right? And there were people in the comments saying how when I didn't shut it down, why are we giving people like that minimal sentences? Can we talk about that? Who in here can lobby? Because these laws are killing me, right? They're killing me. I don't understand how somebody that pled guilty to 20, he wasn't caught with 20, he pled guilty to 20, okay? Why did he only get 5 years? And I know it's difficult, y'all. I know it's really difficult. I can't, Melina. It really makes me worry about our kids' generations, you know, like, because if these people, and like, here's my thing, okay, and I'm probably gonna piss some of y'all off with this, but yeah, he got 5 years. 5 years. Hi, 5 years with 15 years on probation. Crazy Chrissy. Fuck. Tatted, are you in here? I'm telling you, Melissa, because to me, why don't we put all of them in prison, right, and let out the people with like minimal marijuana charges? I'm sorry, but like for me, those like subhuman. They're subhuman in my opinion. Somebody that could steal a child's innocence, and did y'all read? Did y'all read the photos that he had in his computer? Did y'all read the details of what they were? It is scary. Listen to me, Melina. I got no patience or tolerance for P3DO sympathizers. None. Zero. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I agree. But did y'all see the judge that sentenced him? Did y'all see that? Did you see who she's married to? Hi. Ain't that some shit? And thank you, because for the victims, it is a life sentence. She's married to one. The judge that sentenced him is married to one. I think I might have reshared it yesterday, actually. Why are people in, I'll try to find it for you. I agree. Listen, I think that if you're not new to me, you know that I just went to a trial for one of the people that abused us in my boarding school, okay? There are 157 students that have died from either or overdose. 150 students. I don't know, Stacy. I don't know. Are they women? So, listen, Alicia, and I get that. I could understand the whole stand by your man thing, but that's not a man. That's not a man. I agree. But like, she came to this app defending him, right? I appreciate y'all. She came to this app defending him. He was arrested before they started dating. I don't know about y'all, but when I started dating my ex, I knew that he had a background. I ran his shit. Right, and like, and I think you might be right, MKZ. I believe that as well. I think that that's a big part of it. But like, does it not? Hi Chisman. He's attracted to children. That's a good question, Rustic. But I'm sorry, I got distracted. You see, out the door. What? Let me see if I could pull it up. Because I'm pretty sure I reshared it yesterday, because I was just like, what? Nah, I'm talking about Lisa. Here we go.
Another player has entered the chat. Before I start my 12th video on this topic,
we're talking about Gulf Coast Stapletons, but we did get started a little bit about him.
I would like to preface this by saying that you can be the most beautiful person on the outside. I don't care if it comes to you naturally or you pay for it. But if you are ugly on the inside, you are hideous on the outside. Okay? We got that.
Lori, that means you got no redeeming qualities, inside or outside. Garbage, you know?
We got that all squared away? All right, great. So I want to introduce you to the newest player. Hold on, let me pull him up. Actually, we're going to go ahead and start with her. Who is this woman? This is another player has entered the chat. Before I start my 12th video on this topic, I would like to preface this by saying that you can be the most beautiful person on the outside. I don't kiss Judge Rosemary.
Kyle,
another player has entered.
Is Kyle on the coast? Okay.
The chat. Before I start my 12th video on this topic, I would like to preface this by saying that you can be the most beautiful person on the outside. I don't care if it comes to you naturally or you pay for it. But if you are ugly on the inside, you are hideous on the outside. Okay?
Thank you.
We got that all squared away? All right, great. So I want to introduce you to the newest player. Hold on, let me pull him up. Actually, we're going to go ahead and start with her. Who is this woman? This is Judge Rosemary Green. Guess what case she oversaw? Yeah, you're right. There is a lot of outrage in my comments over the 5-year sentence saying that he should have gotten the 20, he should have gotten life, he should have gotten more time. Let's talk about the next player. And this might explain why she was a little sympathetic to the situation. Introducing Mark Matheson and his lovely mugshot. He was a high school teacher at Cartersville High School. Where is Cartersville High School? None other than Bartow County, Georgia. Mark was charged with improper contact by employees, sexual exploitation of children, and obscene telephone contact. Use your imagination there. Mark was arrested in October 2023, and he is currently awaiting trial. But you're probably asking, Kyle, what is this judge and this man Mark? What does it have to do with anything? You can form your own opinions here, but I'm just going to let you know that Judge Rosemary Green and Mark Matheson are married. So do with that what you want, but I do know that there is a lot of local outcry about her overseeing the trial of Joshua Stapleton, allegedly.
Can anybody explain, wait, Naps, are you here? I really want to know how a sitting judge is married to that type of person with that type of crime. I really want to know. Do they not have to go through, no? I would think, don't you have to go through, clearances to have these types of positions? So I really think it's interesting. I agree, court transcripts, and it makes me... That's what I'm saying, Irish. How is this possible? That you're a sitting judge and your husband, okay? I don't know. I didn't do any digging, y'all. I didn't. But somebody, I'm failing to find the words here. Oh, that could be possible. You might be right. But why are we going backwards? Does anybody have an answer for why we're going high? Why are we going backwards? Does anybody else feel that way? And I really hate to bring politics and those types of topics up, but this is a fucking problem. This is a problem. And it's nobody, we're heading in the wrong direction. Why are we going backwards? Oh, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. I don't have... Ashley, why are we going backwards? I agree. At the very least, not those types of cases, because she'll have sympathy. It would be bias. I don't understand. So we got Diddy. Okay, they're roaming. They were just here. They went off. We got Diddy, who just is. I can't still. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well. We got Diddy, who's gonna get off with the slap on the fucking wrist, right? Then we got this motherfucker with a fucking 500,000 people platform, who is a predator. I said what I said. Okay, then we got these Gulf Coast Stapletons. Why is this being normalized? Hi. Why are we, and don't get me wrong, when I say we, I'm not talking about us, the ones that actually, right, thank you, Steph. Thank you. Why are we giving the worst types of human beings slaps? I know, it's so fucking disappointing. Why are we giving the worst types of human beings slaps on the wrist and allowing them to get out and continue doing what they're doing when we know from basic psychology the people with those types of psychopathology, they don't get cured. They don't stop. They reoffend. Anybody? It's going to shit. It's going to shit. You're absolutely fucking right. It is scary that these are our, like, what are we putting, what kind of environment are we putting our kids into when a fucking person could sit on a fucking social media platform with 500,000 followers, but because they call other scumbags out, that means they're not a scumbag? How? It's so frustrating. Don't people want their kids to be better, like have a better place than what we had? Why are we so backwards here? You're not wrong. How's Tinsley doing? I'm telling you. But how did we get, like, you know, I watched a YouTube video the other day about I watched a YouTube video the other day about like this like steps before the Holocaust. Okay? Okay, well, quiet's good, no? And it's scary. Okay, it is scary. Now, also, there are a couple of people in my comments on the Texas video that are local to that situation. I also reshared a video with vetted places that I love her box though. Hi, dog lover. I believe it was Mama Tot, actually. Thanks, Rachel, that posted vetted credible places that for people to donate to. I believe I reshared that. Because I know that people generally just want, Valpal's local too, yes. I know that, especially for some reason, like the people that follow me and that are around me, they want to help, right? But at the same time, we have things like this that happen where people exploit it and use it as a means to scam. So you want to make sure if you are donating to credible places, and I know that she did do the research and she vetted it. So I shared it yesterday. I don't normally I would make a wish list for stuff like this, so that people could send it to like a credible place. Can somebody pin that? Is that an abbreviation, Valpal? Thank you. Yeah, can a mod pin that so that people know? I usually make wish list. I just don't think that would work in this situation, because I'm not sure of the specifics and I don't want to misspeak. However, that's what I would normally do, but I don't know that would be helpful in this situation. But I do know that their first responders are also being affected. So it is they're in crisis. And it's terrible. That, like, I can't think of a word like 4th of July weekend, right? Where most people, I can't. It's terrible. It's terrible. Absolutely awful. I can't imagine, like you try to go just for like a vacation and it ends in tragedy, and that's terrible. I'm telling you, Court, like, why? I don't understand. And I know that, like, people that are, like, super religious are like, it's end times. I don't know that I believe that, right? Because although I know I can't. Oh, my goodness. I can't. Also, hi, if y'all know, Hell to the No is in court, I believe, today. I appreciate you. Thank you. You could leave it pinned if anybody feels the need to donate, that you could use that. You could leave that pinned. I have to remove it so I could see the comments, though. Yeah, it's awful, y'all. It's terrible. I can't even imagine. Oh, God. And see, things like that, DB, I swear, like, everything happens for a reason, right? My ex-husband had a meeting in the trade center that morning. The only reason he wasn't in that building was because he missed the ferry. It's crazy how, when in hindsight, right? Because you don't think about it at that time, right? But you know, it always, you know, listen, Rose, I really try not to lose my shit on the internet, right? I've perfected it over time where I don't give people what they want, right? However, I could not control myself yesterday. She is the absolute last person that should be speaking on Naked Butterfly. The last one. Okay? The last one. And like, maybe even if hi, all for one, thank you. If there's a list of people that shouldn't be speaking on Naked Butterfly, Lori is like the 50th person under the last person. Okay? It is gross. Okay? It is disgusting. Oh, you're good. And just let the girl rest, y'all. And Naked Butterfly might have had her demons, okay? But she was still a better human being than Lori Jones. I said what I said, okay? There was something of, you know, people just have different auras, if that makes sense. And she deserves to rest in peace, right? She's finally able to. And I think that people, I know that there's a lot of addicts in recovery and trauma survivors, that are in this community, right? And I think that a lot of us can understand wanting to get clean and sober, but not being able to face what we need to face in order to stay clean and sober. Does that make sense? Hi, Flyers. I want to make sure you following where I'm going with it before I continue, right? I think that a lot of people, you know, it used to be that weed was the gateway drug. Trauma is the gateway drug, okay? And every single addict has a why. Whether they know what the why is or they don't know what the why is, it's driving their use. You understand? Unfortunately, there are some people that just, for whatever reason, they just don't want to face it. And it's sad. It is sad. Oh man, everybody should. I am a firm. Listen, everybody should carry Narcan. You never know when you're going to use it. I know that for a while there was a lot of, how can I word this? For a while we weren't really seeing opiates, right? Things had switched to analog or illicit fent. So therefore, the Narcan wasn't responding as well. You'd have to administer more doses. I would say the past year, we're starting to see more. Okay, we're starting to see actual D come back in detoxes. So things are starting to shift, but it doesn't hurt to carry Narcan. It doesn't. It's you never know. Legitimately, you never know. And I really think that I'm grateful. I don't know if she's in here, but Cinnamon Roll, she put what she was doing to the side. And I typically don't get involved in stuff like that, right? Because I know that I do things for a reason. I have a purpose in every fucking move that I make, whether y'all think so or not. There's a reason, right? So I never really went to her and asked her to not do what she was doing or any of that. But yesterday I did. Yes, absolutely. A lot of MAT programs do also prescribe Narcan. And she did what she was doing before I even spoke to her. And I just wish that more people will like that, because it's, oh man, I'm sorry. You're good. We do recover. And I think that it's sad. I feel my heart breaks for her daughter, and I hope that her daughter finds her path to recovery, right? Oh yeah, maybe pain management too. Yeah. It's terrible, y'all. Addiction is, it's Russian roulette at this point. It truly is. Every single time people use you could not come back. It did not. Hi, Beans. It did not define who she was, because even with the addiction, she was still a decent human being. I can't say that for Lori. You understand what I'm saying? And that's all it is, Janel. She's at peace, and I think that people, hi Black Dove, I think that people should let her rest in peace. I know I saw something, was it Nikki? I thought Psycho Bunny, you still here? She was kind and she was sweet, right? And I think that if you were shaming her the day before she passed away, you should not be talking about her passing at all, in any context at all. Period. I agree. It's sad. It's really sad. I wish you would. I wish you would. I wish you would. Exactly, Court. That's what I'm saying, right? And just it's always worth it, right? It's always worth it, because I don't know how to explain this, but when you're stuck in the grip, right, of addiction, your mind is telling you that it needs to be numb, right? I don't know if this is gonna come out the right way, but like, we'll say I was originally put on opiates for a medical condition for my back, right? That obviously continued. If there's anything, there are things that addiction is. It is progressive, it is chronic, and it is fatal if it's not treated. It's one or the other. There's no third road, right? But I said that to say that it wasn't until after I got off of the opiates that I realized I wasn't in as much pain as I thought I was. Does that make sense? Me too, toxic? Samesies. I'm addicted. Does that make sense? So I think that, our mind is sick, right? So our mind is telling us, thank you, Freddie, that we need to do this so that we don't have to deal with this. You understand what I mean? But once, me too. But once, amen, all day. I agree. And unfortunately, it's sad. It really is sad, because she wasn't a bad person. Like Lori is a bad person. You understand? Butterfly was not a bad person. And it's really, it happens, Tracy, right? And that's another thing that pisses me off, is like, Gabby, use like PTSD as a thing, right? 100%, Swifty, 100%. I agree with that. It's just, it's sad. And I just wish that Lori would leave it alone. She needs to leave it alone. If people that are Butterfly's closest friends are asking you to leave it alone, that's what's crazy, is that she hopped in her box and said, please leave it alone. And Lori said something about talking to the chat. She was talking to you. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. I don't really care what that one does. I will 100% pay for her to catch a flight to Florida, though. I sure will. Crazy Chrissy, I meant to message you the other day, and I completely got distracted. I was away this weekend, and I'm going away next weekend. So, like, I agree, Rose, but unfortunately, people... Ooh, that does sound good. How can I say this? Right, it's gross. Meanwhile, she's the only one I've seen disrespected. Granted, I was on vacation this weekend, but Lori was the only person that I saw disrespecting her. Leave her alone. Cinnamon Roll removed everything, and she did post an RIP video. I saw it, and I did speak to her. That way, it was done. I will pay for it myself, Tracy. I will pay for it myself. I promise you. Yes, Naked Butterfly passed. I know that there are people that are asking questions, and I don't know that much has been made public, and you also got to remember that there needs to be some testing done. If her family decides that that they want it to be a public issue, I'm sure Janel will handle it, right? Janel, she's good. She was good friends with her, right? Same too. Same. It took me a while because I was making excuses because I was on it legally, right? Trudy, because she's just a shit human being. That's why. And it might take a while, but it's not, we don't need to know that, right? All we really need to know is that she was suffering. That was clear. And she's no longer suffering. That's all that's important. You know, I bet that she will. You're right. I agree. But that's what took me a long time to realize that I was an addict, right? Even though I was abusing the medication, I wouldn't acknowledge it. Does that make sense? I know, Heather. It's sad. Me too. I do too. But I did say that. I told Psycho Bunny that if she wants to get clean, that Psycho Bunny has permission to call me anytime, and I will help her get that done. Yeah, she had a caption. I appreciate you, Chrissy. Hi, JC. Because I know that this things may happen, right? Maybe this is the push that she needed, right? I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I found, hi Carmen, I found one of my good friend's boyfriend. I found his boyfriend dead. And that was one of the things that haunted me for a long time, right? Because it's not, it's still trauma, right? And it's unfortunate that it was her, and I hope that she can that she could find her way where she needs to be, if that makes sense. No, me either, but I don't know, Tracy. I haven't talked to him since the Sophie thing, because at that point, yeah, patterns, you know, patterns. Hi, Marianne. You were unaware that there was an issue between who? Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. There are some people in my YouTube comments that they lost. I cannot imagine losing a child to anything, let alone something like that, you know. Hi, Irish. How are you? Is other Irish in here? I know. She'll know who I'm. It's sad. Yeah, I agree. It does. It does. I would imagine any loss, it can change, right? I agree with that. And I think that we have to remember that not all addicts want to get clean. There's a fucking wild idea, you know? Not all addicts want to get clean. I feel for the ones that want to get clean but struggle. Exactly. And it's sad. It's unfortunate, but there's nothing that anybody could do. There's no amount. Listen to me, y'all. If you were around when my ex relapsed, Lily Grace, are you here? It wasn't something that I was dealing with publicly, right? I went on about my everyday life. Thank you, Tracy. And I didn't, but behind, right, on the back end, I was losing my fucking mind because there's nothing that anybody can do in order to get somebody else clean. That person has to take that step. Now, don't get me wrong, there could be, exactly. But, and that's why, like, we'll use Janel as an example here. There comes a point in time where you have to walk away. Because it starts to, I don't know how to explain this. Consequences, not incentives. Consequences, okay? Because this is the truth of it. People, until you're uncomfortable enough to seek change, okay, you're going to stay doing what you're doing. Nobody can force anybody to get clean. And I'm here to tell you that I tried to get clean 2-3 times for my kids, right? For my mom. It never sticks. But every time I got clean, I did things differently. Does that make sense? But you have to. There comes a point in time where you have exhausted everything that you could possibly try to do, to help, to say. But, and I say it all the time, Melissa Sue, I've both been the addict and loved an addict. Loving the addict is much more difficult. The addict doesn't feel it. The addict isn't aware of the well, let me back up a second. You know what I'm saying? They know that they're causing damage, right? I promise you, I've been on both sides of it. It is much more difficult to love the addict than to be the addict. Vicky, that one's hi, Ray Ray. I hope you're doing all right. I don't know why anybody give it any attention, you know? And I understand that struggles. Do you follow Brandy Mack? Hi, Angel. Brandy Mack, her daughter was in active addiction, and she got on here and told her story. Okay, I love that woman. All right, she is a nurse practitioner. Therefore, she has a lot of knowledge regarding the treatment industry and addiction as a whole. And she's got personal experiences, me too, with the addict, right? She is probably, I couldn't ask for a better advocate for mental health or addiction. Hi. So Struggles, I don't know if you know who she is, but if you don't, you should follow her because she really does give great advice. And it's difficult, y'all. It's difficult. It was really difficult for me to walk away from my ex, right? And I can't imagine my kid. She used to have short hair. She shaves it, but I think that it's gone back now. Agree. I agree. That's another thing that I'm always really grateful. That I always, Brandy Mack, that I always, my kids knew I was an addict at a young age, young, 9, 10-ish, you know, they need to be done. I'm actually going to go when I end this live. They didn't know, I'm sorry, they didn't know the details because they didn't have to know the details, right? I spoke to them at age appropriate levels, right? And explained it to them, Leanne, for the rest of my life. But I'll tell you what, those conversations, right, as they got older, they'd get more detailed. They don't need the minor details. You understand what I'm saying? But they know the gist of it. That's me too. I was fully functioning. I went to undergrad and maintained a very high GPA while in active addiction. But those are things that contributed to my addiction, because I'm not an addict. What are you talking about? Right? What do you mean? Right. I apologize through actions, right? I actually asked them, because I'm just about done editing my book, and I asked them, do you want to read this before it's published? Because, I don't want them to be blindsided by anything. You know what I'm saying? But my kids, they're so much better with communicating with me than my ex-husband. They'll come to me and talk to me about anything, but that's because, and they're both anti-rug. 100% anti-rug. They will not touch them. They're not around them. They don't associate people that do them. Right? So there's like a blessing and a curse to it, if that makes sense. Oh, my kids are grown. My baby is going to be 21 this week. But those are the things, those are the amends that you make, living amends, right? That you will, those are things that we'll be doing for the rest of our lives. It's yeah, I know, it's crazy. I can't even. Exactly, Melissa. My kids come to me about fucking anything, but that's because we have that type of relationship where there's nothing that's a secret. I don't know if I told you this, but my daughter did an internship at the DA, right? My ex-husband has always been where I would have these discussions with my kids from like I did this and I know better. My ex-husband lied to them about that, if you know what I mean. My daughter did an internship at the DA's office, and she found one of his arrests. But what do you think that does to her? You know what I'm saying? Because they knew it happened. They knew it makes them feel like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's one of the reasons. Exactly. So he's so fucking weirdo anyway. But that's my kids. I'm so grateful for the relationship that I have with my kids. I really am. They never really did, but you know what I mean. It was just like, I agree. And my son has been with the same girl for like 4 or 5 years, maybe. She's so sweet. She texted me for 4th of July. I hope everybody had a safe 4th of July. What up, allegedly? They're not. Both of my kids are really good. They're just great kids. I'm so lucky. 100%, JC. Amends, especially like stuff like that you do it all the time. It's an ongoing thing, if you will, right? And I don't mean, I'm not talking, my daughter now, she's taking her LSAT in August. Yeah, it's crazy. They're both really good kids. Right, every day. It's an ongoing thing. And there's those situations too, homegirl, right? There's one person that I have not been able to make amends to, and it's written in my book because I know he'll read it. Hi, Miracles. How are you? I'm about to end. I want to go get my nails done before they close. But I wanted to say that I appreciate y'all for distancing, or at least giving Ashley a chance. I appreciate that. I'm still going through his lives so that I could I want to make sure that I am so jealous. I'm terrified of open water, y'all, but I want to be on a boat so bad. What up, Shannon? Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. For those of you that don't know, Shannon is one of my YouTube mods. She doesn't have a TikTok. But people swear that she's not, and it's super weird. Hi, Grace. Listen, Tiffany. I don't know what it is, but I'm terrified of open water. But I want to be on a boat so bad. Morgan Wallen, when I go to Miami this weekend, I was looking for a houseboat so I could try it because I want to do it, but oh yeah, allegedly is Shannon. Don't ask. Shannon doesn't have a TikTok. Hi, Bird Dirt. The kitties are good. They were just in here, but they ran away. It's not boats that I don't like, though. It's open water. Really, Chrissy? I'm telling you. So I was gonna rent like a houseboat in Miami for like the weekend, and then that's what it is. It's sharks. I figured you have exposure therapy, right? It wouldn't let you send. My Linktree, Facebook and Instagram I check those much more frequently. I figured I would get the houseboat, right, and try to warm up to the idea of being on a boat. Does that make sense? Like I'm not moving, I'm just on the boat. I know, Beans. I'm terrified of sharks. But like, oh, I'm sorry, Crystal. I'll have it up as soon as I can. Right, always happy. I thought that I was gonna rent the houseboat and just stay there. That way I could like warm up to the idea. Oh my God. Did you say a 6-month cruise? You sang. Oh, I used to follow, they did the year-long cruise. I used to watch those videos religiously, drooling. But I'm so nervous about it. Oh, I also get, what's today? I get my tattoo done this week too. Tomorrow. I get this done tomorrow. I know. But I want to. That's the thing. I want to do it, but I'm so afraid. I don't know. My aunt did that last, right. And they go such cool places, Chrissy, right? I've been thinking about it more and more. I'm just so afraid. I heard. Me too, Lois. Baby, shut up, Pippi. I can swim. I don't know why. It's probably a really irrational fear, if I'm being honest. But I don't know. Oh, listen, Tracy, it rains every day. Every day. Allegedly, I hope you're doing all right. Right, me too. I don't quote. That's exactly why I never released the name of my book, is because one hater would be a hating asshole and go copyright it. Gabby is experiencing exactly why it hasn't been released publicly. So, good. I'm glad to hear I'm not alone. I'm glad. Right, same, Tori, same. Yeah, it's... yeah, don't ask. Panini, did you get everything that I sent? I should have probably kept in touch with you. Yeah, somebody wrote. They did. They did. Did y'all not see that? That could be true, Ray. Did y'all? Hold on. I think I might have reshared it, but I was tagged in it. Now I could go to Reddit. It was posted. Listen. Hi, one more oxymoron. It was so... Somebody bought the copyright to Gabby's title. Uh-huh. Yep. They sure did. Oh, yeah. Y'all didn't know that? Yeah. And when I read, I was laughing. I saw it last night, and I was laughing. But That's exactly why I've never released the title of my book. That's why. Not that they'd have the money, because a lot of the people that just have an irrational hate for me are broke as fuck. But that's exactly why. I also think that she is she's using ChatGPT because she can't spell. That's actually why I posted that video yesterday. I don't know exact Caroline. I would think so. I don't know, Rachel. Right, she could be. So she's 100% using ChatGPT. And they gotta have, hi Sess, they gotta have a thing for that, no? Can you just use ChatGPT to write books and then publish them? Does anybody know? Because that would be crazy. Isn't that like plagiarism or something? Anonymous. You can? I didn't know that. Hi, PK. That's crazy. So then anybody could do it. I didn't know that you could do that. Do you have to label it as AI generated like you do on TikTok? Oh my goodness. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Amazon doesn't support AI. That's what I'm saying. Do you have to check off that you didn't use AI? I think you have to. Thank you. That's the Crystal, you here? Crystal Dragon Chick would know. At Homegirl, I don't know. I have no idea. How about this? I love this hat. Right, but it wouldn't be original work. That's what I would think. I don't know. I would be lying, y'all. I don't know much about it. I really don't. Hold on, I got a puzzle piece. Bear with me. No, listen. I don't use that stuff because did y'all not see iRobot? Talk about irrational fears. Did y'all see iRobot? Because that's where we're heading, y'all. Because that's why I don't fuck with AI like that. I won't. I probably, you know what? He, in high schools, it should be considered plagiarism. Listen, at the very end of my college career was when we started having to turn, like, any type of research papers had to be uploaded into a plagiarism detective. You know what I mean? But ChatGPT, like, these kids got it easy, dude. Easy as fuck with this new AI shit. Hold on. I want you to hear me. Send him a text. Hold on. Listen, I told you last time I went live that people were with their pitchforks about merch. And now I'm live and they're asking, when are you going to have new merch up? So I'm sending this voice memo while I'm live so they know that I have been dealing with you about it. I have the designs. He just hasn't put them up yet. I got crop hoodies in this one now. There's crop hoodies coming. I know. I have them. I'll tell you which ones are dropping now. It's Could Never Be Me is coming. And I'm Not a Felon, But My Ex Is. Those two are being dropped first. The next one that's coming up is there's two more coming, and I do believe the limited merch drop for W's victims is also in the works. It's just not complete. And then I may also drop a limited merch. I haven't made up my mind yet for the students. Right. Exactly. I cannot. No, you're good. I sent him a text. Where can you look? It's not up yet. So, but the link to my merch is in the link tree. But they're not, the new designs aren't up yet. Imagine if he put them up and he would have told me. I'll double check before. Yeah, so blacked up. That's what I was thinking. I posted in the Facebook group last week, giving them until this week so that I could book the Airbnbs and be done with it. I wanted to drop a limited merch so that we had shirts for sentencing, and all of the proceeds would go to the GoFundMe. I just never got there. Let me check this before I end. Stop. What the fuck? Yes, you could come up because I'm sorry. It's my fault because I took all the mod powers away when my boxes were getting crazy. Yes, prayers for sentencing is September. Prayers for Texas and Naked Butterfly's family. I have been putting off writing my victim impact statement for I can't even tell you how long. And I gotta get it done. Hi.
Howdy, friends.
How are you?
Good. I'll show the little. I know you said they're in your comments asking about her all the time.
I know.
So
I made you the big
flipper
cup.
here.
Hi, Tinny.
Poopers.
They're
talking to. She says, "Well, not really me right now because I need a bath."
Oh, Tinsley. I did 2 of a kind. I texted Help to the No before. She's such a pretty girl. Tinsley.
Wait. Oh, I got my headphones in so she can't hear her name. They're talking to you.
Cute.
She needs her hair redone. But you said everybody was in your comments on YT asking. She's actually doing pretty good, guys. Pain-wise, I was doing pain meds, gabapentin, and something else, amantadine, like every 4 hours, plus prednisone. And she was still having times where, we weren't making it to med time. Pain was bad, but we have gotten away from that now. So I took the gab away during the day. And we're just doing the amantadine, which is, I think it might be like an NSAID for bones and stuff. We're still on the prednisone. She's laying on her back now all the time again, which I didn't really realize she wasn't doing for a long time. She's always slept on her back, laid on her belly rub. Yeah. And I didn't realize she wasn't doing it at all, meaning her back hurt her. So we're laying on her back now. We're doing quite well. I'm praying that it is the fungal. We still don't know if it's fungal infection or not. Thank you guys. But things are better than they were. Right. It just scares me once in a while because she gets quiet.
Yeah. Well, we love her. I text Janel every couple of days to see how she's doing,
Yeah. And thank you guys for all the thoughts about Gizmo. He passed away on Monday, and that's another thing. It was not something I had seen before, and I don't know if he had a stroke or it was in fact the fungal went to his brain. Lacey's not doing real great. She is neurotic, has very little control of her back end, so I am going to schedule with the neurologist and say, listen, because they were like, well, we don't want to give them antifungals because it can be hard on the liver. And I said, well, it doesn't matter if they're unalive, right? Their liver doesn't do them any good if they're not here. Mm-hmm. So now that Gizmo passed, I think I'm going to put her up against a wall and say, listen, it's either that or she's...
doesn't that make things move a little quicker? Because, I don't know.
It baffles me that it could be hard on the liver. Yeah, but their liver doesn't do them any good if they're not here. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those things what do you have to lose situation? Right. So we're praying, that I'm probably going to schedule the MRI, I don't know, in 3-ish weeks, and we'll see if the lesions and stuff, but her eye looks great. I don't know. I didn't post a lot about it, but she has had a pustule thing on her eye for years.
Right.
And it is going away, and her blood blister is going away, which... Lynn, it's a fungal infection. Basically, it's all over the United States, different types. You may know it. called valley fever in like Arizona, Nevada, desert, that type of stuff. Basically, you inhale a spore and it goes in your nose and it can sit in your body. Humans, dogs, it's not contagious to other people, but it can sit in your body for 40 years, 50 years, never do anything, and then just decide to rear its head. And it can affect everything, like skin lesions. I just found out 2 separate customers, both one of their in-laws on either one was being treated chemo radiation for cancer. She didn't have cancer. She had a fungal infection. And then another one had been diagnosed with MS for 10 years. It wasn't MS. So, yeah, everything. So you're in Arizona, you know, valley fever is very common for you guys to be diagnosed with in Arizona, places like that. They know it's very, very common. For some reason, the rest of the United States wants to act like it doesn't exist. I mean, I have been fighting with these vets. My dogs have been sick since we moved into this house in 2020. Stuff that nobody could figure out. These vets want to fight me and fight me and fight me on this. And it's crazy. Oh, not the girl.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. But for some reason up north, they want to act like it doesn't. Yes, valley fever lives in the desert. So the problem is testing for it. You very rarely get a positive test. Like people, animals, it's very, very hard to get a positive test. So we're trying, but I will.
Joni said maybe it's something in the house. I said that's what I said originally. Yeah, and that's still not out of the question. Right.
But then the question becomes what inside the house? Like, because all these dogs are having issues, but they're not the same issues, right? So one started with her lungs.
Right.
I honestly thought she had COVID.
Yeah.
And it can show as anything. So we did test for Lyme. I tested for Lyme and every other tick-borne illness that exists. I tested, believe you me.
Y'all, I promise you, nobody has done more for their animals than Janel has. I promise you.
Yeah, I'm at about $60,000 since 2020 on my dogs. $60,000, 60. So trust me when I tell you.
This has been, my gosh, Janel, this has been going on since like our birthday, no?
Yeah, so when we got back from Vegas, she wouldn't jump on the bed. And I thought, well, that's odd. And then all of a sudden, about a month later, she started limping on a front leg. So they gave her steroids, which I think was the problem because the steroids, bottomed out the immune system. They originally thought she had a polyarthritis, basically like a rheumatoid arthritis autoimmune. So they put her on high dose steroids. Well, it went from one front leg to a back leg and it kept shifting legs. And we stayed on steroids, for 7 months?
Right.
She says,
been a while.
Yeah, she's been on them since November. And the doctor finally said, let's MRI again. And we did because she wasn't getting any better. And they found lesions all over her spine and her legs. And they tried to tell me it was cancer. And I said, I'm telling you, it's not cancer. Can anything mimic this? And that's
when... Can dogs get MS?
You know, I've kind of looked it up. And there's no solid real answer to that is basically what I've found. But it's, I don't know.
Like, I know, I always have this problem where, like, I could tell you about the human system, but not really the animal one, right?
Right.
But a lot of the things that Tinsley goes through could be an MS.
Right. It very much looks like it. I originally thought, something like a lupus with the joints flaring and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly, Tracy. It would probably be diagnosed something other than MS. I don't know that they actually, have a MS diagnosis. Where am I located? I am in Ohio, Beans.
Tinsley, she's my favorite female dog.
Yeah, she's the only She's the only.
She was feeling better for a bit, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't think are you talking about like a month or two before we had the MRI? Is that what you're talking?
2 weeks ago? I talked to you about it and I was happy that she was doing good. Hi, Chrissy.
She's still, I mean, don't get me wrong. She's still doing good. She's doing better. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like she's sassing me, but what's worrying me is she's being very quiet and sleeping a lot, which isn't her norm, but part of me thinks her body was in such a high caliber of pain that we couldn't control, that maybe now that the pain is not there, it's just kind of zonked her system. I don't know.
That's possible.
You know, when you finally, you have kidney stones, when it finally stops, you're out like a light. So
that could
I don't know.
be it.
That's what I'm hoping, because her liver and kidneys and all that looked good on the last set of blood work, but it does. Pain really wears you out. I hope she's in recovery mode. I really do.
Yeah, because she was good for a bit, right? Like a week.
Yeah. Well, we've been progressively getting better each day. It's just the tiredness. Like the pain wise, Chrissy, she's been fighting for a long time. This has been, I think, you know, when she started taking the prednisone in November, she did good, but all it was doing was masking it, and it dropped her immune system. So
she's what's crazy is she's not even, what is she, 4 or 5?
She's 4.
Yeah. She's still a baby, you know?
Yeah. Yep. And that's why I'm fighting so hard. I mean, I'd fight hard either way, but I'm like, you guys, this is not cancer. Somebody's got to give me another. So there's other couple possibilities, like, I don't want to call it like an amoeba, but like that type of protozoic, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, they mentioned possibly that, or brucellus, which is a really nasty bacteria. But the thing is, she's never shown any sign, no white cell count, and we've done spinal taps.
Come up in the labs.
Yeah, that was my feeling. And she's like, well, once in a while it can locate just in one spot. I said, yeah, but we did a spinal tap. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you can't get more conclusive than that.
That was my thought. In the bone biopsy, what scares me is the bone biopsy not showing any sort of fungal type thing. But we did, but I started those meds 5 days prior, and they're saying, well, it wouldn't work that fast. And I'm like, because this shit's so hard to peg down. Right. You know? No, I haven't, ShotBot, because honestly, I don't think you understand. I have gone to the best of the best. There is nobody that 100% has a clue.
She's been dealing with specialists and stuff, you know? Yeah. So, and I would be so tired dealing with it, you know, but Janel really thinks that, you know, think about it. If this winds up being this diagnosis, how many other dogs that diagnosis is being ignored? You know, like, it could change a lot. Because
it could change a lot for humans too.
Amen. They didn't even, when it first came up, I remember you telling me, like, they didn't even want to acknowledge that it would be there.
Nope.
So, like,
nope. And here's the funny thing. They won't even acknowledge that it's in the area, but if you Google it, we are in an endemic area. Based on the CDC, we are in an endemic area. And when I tell them that, they're like, no, it's not here. And I said, what do you mean it's not here? It's right in front of your face on the CDC.
You know what, too, though, Janelle? She might be reacting to Gizmo.
Well, plus, and we've had storms, and that's what she's freaking out about right now. It just started to thunder.
She's such a pretty girl, and 4th of July too. Like, it's probably she's just taking a break. She'll be back.
I hope so.
Pretty girl.
I hope so. Yeah, she needs a bath, but I think humidity really bothers her. So I've been sleeping on the floor with her with a dehumidifier. Right. And she needs a bath, but I'm like, well, I don't want her wet. wet and humid.
I know that you've been battling this for so long that I hope it's on, that you've gone in the other direction.
I feel like it is. If I really, because John, my problem is I watch every little thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she's sitting a lot today instead of standing up. And he gets frustrated with me. He's like, I don't know how you noticed that shit. He says, but I'm telling you now, she is substantially better. And I don't know if maybe I just miss it sometimes because I'm looking at everything else.
Possible.
But he's like, he goes,
you're so, like, any animal would be so lucky to have you as, like, their advocate because of the things like that, though. It's because you pay attention to things that other people don't pay attention to.
I've had people ask me if I would consider being a liaison between them and their veterinary's office because, they're not always looking at the little stupid things. So I'm neurotic. I wish I wasn't this way, to be honest with you, because it drives me crazy.
Yeah, but there's always a benefit to our worst qualities.
I hope so.
About it,
I hope so. I keep saying, let me be the one to prove this and to scream it from the rooftops that, hey, Arizona's got valley fever. They all know this. They all acknowledge it. Hell, they treat for it even with a negative test result. Right. Why are we fighting this so hard? What pisses me off is if you're going to tell somebody your dog has cancer, right? Because it looks like it acts like it at certain times. What is the harm in trying an antifungal medication? It's cheap. And if the other alternative is cancer, you're going to lose the animal anyway. Right.
Is that what somebody's saying? People were saying in the comments, ivermectin? So
ivermectin is, that's anti-parasitic. That would not help for fungal. Right. Basically, this fungal infection is like a yeast or a mold or something along those lines. Ivermectin it's more of a anti-parasitic. Okay. And we don't believe she has that.
That's so. But I get what you're saying as far as, it's either she's got cancer or this. Why not just treat this? Because God forbid you got this. And, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Everything, I've never heard of ivermectin being used for valley fever. It's usually itraconazole, and there's 2 others as well. She's a Shih Tzu.
She's the cutest of the cute. Her face, y'all, is just so cute to me.
Well, and she's messy.
Her sassy attitude is just my favorite. Hi.
Can you say hi to your aunties? All your aunties are on the TikTok. She's freaked out right now because of the thunder, so I'm about to.
She really is adorable. Tinsley.
Yeah. What bugs me though is so they did blood draws here, and that was 3-4 weeks ago, and it's still bruised. I'm like,
is that normal?
No, but she does have slight anemia, so I'm thinking don't jump. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hop down because she wants to get down, and she's
I'm
about to panic.
I hope that she feels better.
Give a mooch.
Bye, Tinsley. All right, y'all.
She says bye.
Have a good day. I forgot last time when I ended, so I'm going to say, don't be a piece of shit today. I know some of y'all struggle. I get it. I get that some of y'all struggle, It's really not that difficult. You just got to try to do the right thing. Also, I appreciate everybody for taking a step back on the welding salesman situation and showing support to the victims. She does do lives where she does talk about it. And I just want to, just for me, no male is going to come to the internet and lie about being assaulted as a child. That's not going to happen. Men don't disclose normally, never mind publicly, okay? I hope everybody has a good day. I will see y'all soon, and don't be a piece of shit.